welcome back to another episode of Design Cafe. In this week's episode, we're going to be talking about how to create a luxurious space and maintain it. So if you're interested in that, come on, let's go. Hi guys, so I am excited about today's video because I really want to share these little tips. There are some simple tips that you can do in your space, and we're going to go over them. We're going to just hit them really quick. I'm not going to stay on each one long, but there are simple things that you can do in your home that can definitely start to make your space feel more luxurious. And I love this topic because I have used a lot of these in my home to make my home look luxurious, even though I didn't break the bank to do so. So definitely guys, you're going to want to stay tuned. You're going to get your pen and your paper, and then you're going to want to look around your space and make sure that you're not guilty of any of these things. Now, some of them may be your choice, right? But I will let you know whether or not it is a choice or you don't have a choice in design with this one. But you know, my motto is that nothing in design is a mistake if it was intentional. So if you intended for something to look the way it looked, then that's your taste and that's your design. But if you did not intend to make it look like that, let's fix it. So let's jump into it right now and let's fix all these things that you may have going on in your space. One of the first things that you would definitely want to look at when it comes to making your space feel luxurious is you want to look at or sniff at the fragrance of your home. The fragrance of your home will definitely play off of how luxurious you want the space to feel. Now, you don't want to be walking into your home and it smells like curry or fried chicken or fried fish. None of that stuff. You want to make sure that you get some really good fragrances to put in your home, whether you're going to be using plugins, candles, diffusers, candle warmers, whatever it is. You want your home to smell very luxurious when you walk into it, because smell is one of our senses and it plays on our mental. So if something smells bad, then your mood changes, right? If something don't smell too good, you're like that type of way. Or you know, if you're walking into your space and you're feeling tired, you're feeling down, but your home smells really nice, your whole mood changes, okay? It helps with your mental. So make sure that you have the right fragrances in your home, and if you don't have any, run out and go get some, okay? The next thing I want to talk about that is a big one, it's really, really big, is having too many little knickknacks, okay? When you want to design your space, you need to think big. Do not have a lot of little knickknacks here, especially if you have shelving. If you're not sure how to style your shelving, there are so many options that you can go on Pinterest and look at, and you don't have to do exactly what they did, but it will give you inspiration on how you need to be grouping things together versus having them spread out on a shelf. And then certain things like, do you really want to have this out, or can you put it away? So not having too many knickknacks out and about throughout your space will definitely make your space feel more luxurious. And this is going to go towards that we're now going into fall, right? And a lot of people are going to be pulling out these pumpkins and stuff like that. But when you pull out too much of those and you have a lot of little ones here, there, some in a basket here, some, it's just going to take away that luxurious feel of your home. So you do not want to allow a season to take away the luxuriousness of your space. You can decorate your space for fall without all the little knickknacks. The next thing I want to talk about that will make your space feel very luxurious is airing out your space. Every Saturday, I air out my home. I open up the window so fresh air can come in. I dust my blinds so fresh air, that's fresh air coming into your space. Any scents that were lingering from during the week, that is definitely going to go. It's going to help you even breathe better in your space. So you definitely want to air out your space so that your space will always smell and feel fresh. The air inside will feel very fresh when you walk into your space. The next thing I want to talk about is not using cheap looking floral stems, whatever. The cheap looking ones, do not put them in your space if you want your space to look very luxurious. So those that you will find, let's say at Dollar Tree, Family Dollar, Dollar General, those look very cheap. Do not put those in your space if you're trying to attain a very luxurious looking space. But try sites like Amazon, have some good ones. Just read the reviews, and if you get it and it looks cheap, send it back. Do not hold on to it. But you can do like a floral. Theirs always look very, very, very realistic. They are a little bit more pricey, so beware of that. But even going into Hobby Lobby, Hobby Lobby have some really, I would say, good ones that are not that cheapy looking. But if you see it looking, if you can tell from standing afar from it that it looks fake, don't get it. Okay, if you have to go up to it and touch it and be like, that one you can get because you couldn't tell yourself. So do not put too many fake florals throughout your space. It will start to cheapen the space, and if space will not be looking as luxurious as you want it to look. The next thing that I want to talk about, and you guys know that this is a pet peeve for me, is that having the right lighting. Now you need to have your space lit the correct way. Lighting does something to the mental. It creates mood, okay? So do you want to have ambient lighting? Is this lighting for task lighting? What type of lighting do you have in this space? Do you want to do up lighting? All these different things will be different in your space. So make sure that you are lighting your space properly. Using on the counter lighting in your kitchen would also enhance your kitchen area. Using task lighting like lamps and so forth, will turn them on. Don't just have them and don't turn them on. Turn these things on so that they can do what you put them in a space to do. So if you want your space to look luxurious, have the right lighting. Do picture lights. Picture lights always elevates artwork. That is what it's there for. It is to give attention to it. So go ahead and use your picture lights in your space. The next thing that I think will make your home look very luxurious, if you use large items. Do not use, like we just spoke about, a lot of little knickknacks. Don't do a lot of little knickknacks. Do the larger pieces, like very large artworks, or group your artworks together to make them look like one large piece. Do larger lamps, or whatever pieces you're selecting, let them be of a larger scale so that you don't feel like you need to keep adding to your design. So using large pieces, large rugs, all these things would help to make your space look luxurious. This one drives me nuts. Having a very poor paint job. If you do not know how to paint, go ahead and hire it out. It's not everything you have to do yourself. Hire it out if you do not know how to paint. Doing a bad paint job will kill your entire design. So if you want your design to stand up, if you want that accent that you're trying to put in to be right, you don't want to have a poor paint job. You don't want to see where the paint is touching the ceiling when it's not supposed to, or mess up the baseboards, or mess up your door frames. If you do not know how to paint, go ahead and hire that out, because a poor paint job will completely cancel your luxurious design that you're trying to accomplish. The next thing I want to talk about is sloppy looking pillows on your sofas, on your bed. If you're going to chop your pillow, chop it right. Just chop the pillow right. Don't just hit it one chop, throw it on the bed, and then she lean in like she drunk. Don't do that. Make sure that your pillows are nice and stuffed. Now, the trick is, if you have a pillow that's, let's say, a 22, then your insert need to be like a 24. Okay? So you always size up on the insert, and that is what would give you that really nice plush pillow that you see on designers' beds, or you see how we design with. We always size up with the insert that is going in the pillow. So if you want your sofa, your bed, your lounge chairs, whatever it is, to look more luxurious, Size up on your inserts so you don't have sloppy pillows. The next thing I want to touch on is hanging your artwork. When you're hanging your artwork, do not hang them crooked, okay? Don't think nobody ain't gonna notice. People are going to notice. Hang your artworks straight. If you don't have a level, levels are very cheap. Get a level. Always use a level when you're hanging your artwork. The next thing I want to say about hanging your artwork is making sure that you're not hanging your artworks too high or too low. I have seen where artworks are hung too low. Now, what I do give as a rule of thumb when hanging artwork is to try not to go above your door frames. If you have to go above your door frame, it needs to look intentional and not that you didn't know what you were doing. Okay, so when you're hanging your artwork, make sure follow that rule of thumb. If you have high ceilings in a particular area, I would say ignore the door frames, ignore the windows, because you want to take up as much of that wall space as possible, because the higher you go in terms of if you have a really large piece of art, that is going to elevate your space. But if you hang it too high and there's nothing going on beneath, it's gonna look like you made a mistake. So that's what I mean. It needs to look intentional and not that you made a mistake. So hanging artwork is very crucial. Making sure your artworks line up, they're not tilted, leaning, they're not next to a door and they're way up above the door and you don't have a high ceiling. All these things will make your space not look luxurious, will make your art stand out, but stand out in the wrong way. So make sure when you're hanging your artwork, you follow these little rules. If you don't know how to properly do it, just go ahead and follow the rule where you stay, you don't try not to go above the door frame. Also, I want to touch on this with artwork is hanging too much artwork. I always say in design, you need to give your eyes a rest. Your eyes need to rest. So you need to see something that is really beautiful, very attractive, and then you need a rest as you move on through the space. Okay, you don't want the space to unveil too quickly or too much. Okay, it's like, for me, I don't like going into stores like say Walmart because it's too big of a store. So I just feel like it's just too much going on for me, and I never have pleasure going into a store like that, like into Walmart. It's not as organized, or it doesn't smell good, or it's always something, right? So you want that when someone walk into your space, or even you walk into your space, that your space gradually reveal itself to you, is gradually telling that story. But when you have too much art going on the wall, every wall has some kind of art on it, you don't know what to look at. You feel like you're rushing to look at this, then look at this, then look at this. That's how it feels, okay? Now, to each their own when it comes to that, because somebody who is a maximalist will want to see art on every wall. But if you're not a maximalist, or you don't even know what you are, don't go doing that, because you might do it wrong, because the art needs to still tell a story as you go across the room. They need to be relatable to each other if they're in the same space. So be careful with that when you are hanging art, because you will take away that luxurious look that you were going for in your space. The next thing I want to talk about is on your bed. So when you're putting a throw on your bed, if the throw is too small, do not put it on the bed. If you're going to put it on the bed, you don't want to drape it across the bed, but you want it to come and hang off on the end of the bed. And some people like to style their beds by putting a tray on the bed. I don't do that, because I like when I style something that it's practical. And would I put a tray on my bed every day? No. Why would I? Right? So that would more be for taking a picture or something. But after that, is it practical? So make sure that it's practical when you want to do something like that. However, if you have a bed, you always want your throw to hang off on each end of the bed, so that it will make your bed layering look really plush. On a side note, I am going to be doing a video on that, how to layer your bed. I've done one before, you guys liked it, and I will be doing another updated one again. Okay, so back to the original program. Next thing to make your space feel more luxurious, and like we touched on this earlier, is making sure that you dust your space regularly. And when I say dust your space, I mean dust your window treatment, dust your window treatment in terms of like your blinds, especially if you have these 2-inch blinds. Dust your baseboard. Have you ever gone to someone's house, the house look clean, and then you look down and the baseboards are just disgusting, they're dirty, they're dusty? If you continuously dust and clean them, you wouldn't get to that. So if you're anything like me, and I like to do my deep cleaning on the weekends, I always try to clean the baseboard. So whatever room I'm in cleaning, if I can reach that baseboard, I dust the baseboard. If I can, when I'm dusting my blinds, I do not like the 2-inch blinds, but I have to live with them now. And good thing I only have one to deal with, just one. So I dust that every weekend. Okay, just to keep the dust down so no dust wouldn't build up on it. And let's talk about your AC units. Make sure that those are dusted. It's just to take that broom, as if you can reach when you sweep, just go ahead and dust those out. Sometimes you're going to have to take them down and wash them, but make sure that you are dusting. I want to add to that, in this house that I'm in, the walls are white, but they're flat paint. Flat paint gets dirty very easily. Okay, every little thing that touch on it is going to show, it's going to get dirty. So I wipe them. They can be wiped off, however. So, and they're easy to wipe them off. So I try to keep up with that, where I am going around the house on the weekend. I am looking for any little stains, and I'm making sure that I am wiping those off the wall. So keeping your space looking fresh at all time would definitely add to the luxuriousness of your space. The next thing I want to touch on is decluttering your surfaces. Keep your surfaces clear, clean. Don't have too much stuff on top of your surfaces, and your space will have that continuous luxurious look. Keep your surfaces clean and clear. If you're gonna have stuff on there, decorative stuff, don't overdo it. I always say, try to do a little vignette here or there. If you have a large surface, you may want to put more than one vignette on that surface, but let them be relatable to each other. So keep your space very decluttered. Even throughout the home, try to keep it decluttered. If you can put stuff away, put them away. So try to put stuff away. I encourage you to get furniture that has storage. Always invest in furniture that has storage so that you can put stuff away when they're not in use. The next thing you want to do if you want your space to feel luxurious is not having matchy furniture. What am I talking about? What are you talking about, Judith? What is matchy furniture? When you go into the furniture store and you see the whole set and you buy the entire set. You buy the love seat, you buy the sofa, you buy the lounge chairs, and even the coffee table that you saw. They put the whole set together and you bought the whole thing. That is not going to look luxurious in your space. You always want to look like your space was put together, and not that you went into a furniture store and bought a whole set. So if you have the sofa, you don't want to have the lounge chairs for that sofa. You want to bring in, that's why it's called an accent piece. It can be the same color, but you don't need it to be like that same fabric. You need something else that is going to contrast off of that beautiful sofa that you put in your space, right? So do not buy those matchy furniture. And next place I see they do it is in the bedrooms. You go and you buy the full bedroom set. So you buy in the headboard, the bed, the nightstands, the dresser, the chest. You buy the whole set. So there's nothing that's like being luxuriously looking designed. You want your space to look designed. When you do that, it does not look designed. Okay, it looks like this is what they were selling. I like this and I didn't know what else I could put with it, so I'm gonna just buy the whole set. You didn't really care about design. But if you do care about design and want your space to look luxurious, do not do that, okay? Do not buy matchy furniture. Always try to make your space look like it's being put together. The next thing I want to talk about is having the right window treatment. What is window treatment? Window treatment is like your draperies or your sheers or even your blinds. Those are window treatment, or even if you have a valance or a sconce over your window, those are window treatment. So having the right window treatment in the right spaces, right? You always want to have a certain feel in certain spaces in your bedroom. You're going to probably want to deal with more of the blackout curtains, and you can probably get a little bit more decorative when you go to your living room area, but you need to have the right window treatment. These window treatment needs to be the correct length. You need to be hanging them at the correct height so that you want to elevate your space. When you're thinking about having a luxurious space, you want to think about elevation. You want your space to feel elevated. So when you hang your curtains, you wouldn't want to hang them right over the top of your whether it's your door or your window trim. You don't want that. You want to go up above. So typically everyone of the most common size window treatment is 84. So when you have an 84, it's because you have very low ceilings. So your ceilings are probably about 8 feet or so, but you do not want to do that if it's right down on the window. If you can go up and do another 6 inches and do like a 90 window treatment, then do a 90 window treatment so that you can rise your rod higher so that it would not be sitting right on top of the window. So hanging your window treatment, putting the right window treatment. Your rods are also a part of the window treatment, so putting those mechanisms the right places will definitely determine if you're going to kill your design or not, because you can have a whole nice design going on and your window treatments are all wrong. Okay, you have the wrong type of fabric, you have the wrong print going on, you have the wrong color. All of this, you have them on the same, hanging on the same rod. I have a video on that, how to hang your window treatment and not putting them on the same rods. So that video is probably not on the channel yet. It's probably still on the old channel, but look out for that video. I do go into details with these things and how you should be hanging your window treatment, not having more than one style window treatment on the same rod. Don't do that if you're looking for an elevated, luxurious look in your space. The next thing I want to talk about that would make your space feel very luxurious and very elevated is having the right size rug. Your rug should extend the width of your bed, the width of your sitting in your living room. So not just the sofa, but if you have side chairs, whether you have a love seat on the side or you have a bench or you have some lounge chairs, whatever the grouping of sitting is, those should be, your rug should extend out beyond those items. Now, there are some cases where you can just have like the front foot of the piece sitting on that rug, but that would be for like your sofa, or if you had like a large piece like a love seat. But if you have lounge chairs, that entire lounge chair needs to be sitting on top of that rug. So make sure that you're getting the right size rugs for your spaces. In your bedrooms, you want the rug to extend no less than 2 feet on each side of your bed. No less than 2 feet on each side of your bed. If you are going for that luxurious designed look in your space, choosing the right rug color, the right rug patterns, all of these things are going to matter. You need to know what look you're going for in your space, and choosing the correct rug or choosing the incorrect rug will definitely kill your design, and your space will not look luxurious like you want it to. The next thing I think that would definitely help your space to look luxurious is maintaining the right design style or the same design style. Now, you can mix and match design styles, but if you don't know how to do that, stick with one design style and it will not fail you. But if you know how to do it, then go ahead and you can mix design styles, but one of them needs to be more dominant than the other. Okay, so you need to decide, is my space going to be more traditional or is it going to be more contemporary or more transitional? So you need to make sure which one is going to be more dominant, and then you're just using the flavor of this other style to help to enhance that style. If you have a contemporary space but you want to add some modern to it, are you going to go really modern or mid-century modern? What are you going to do? Which one is going to be more dominant, right? Some design styles, when you put them together, they just clash. They don't work together as well. And a traditional design is one of those, because traditional design has a lot going on with it. It's not a clean line, simple design. So when you try to mix that with, say, like a contemporary design, you don't give one the dominance, it will completely throw the whole look off. So if you want to have that luxe look, that luxurious looking design, try to stick to 1 to 2 design styles when you are designing your space. We're getting down to the wire. So the next thing I want to talk about is metal finishes. Now, brass is always in. Like, I haven't seen brass gone out of trend. Brass has always been in. So if you want to use metals in your space, I would say one of them can be brass. You can't go wrong with it. It's a good choice if you're trying to bring in a hint of, let's say, gold, or even if you're trying to mix metals. Brass is always a good choice to go with, right? So using different finishes, metal finishes in your space is vital. You want to think on, do I want my surfaces or do I want my metals to look very shiny? Do I want them to look very brush nickel looking? Do I want them to look matte? You have to make that decision, and once you make that decision, you need to stick to it, right? So like, let's say your picture frames. You have picture frames, some of them are shiny, and then you have them right next to each other. Some are shiny, some are matte. It just throws the eye off. It just confuses things, right? So you want to try to stick with the same finishes when you're doing that. Now, you can mix metals. I think it is amazing when you mix metals, and especially when you mix them right. So don't be afraid to mix your metals. You just have to make sure that you mix them right. So using the right finishes in your space, the metal finishes, I should say, in your space will definitely help to make your space look luxurious if you do it right. And last but not least, I left this one for last because I told you there's a video coming again. Layering your bed. When you are layering your bed, you have to make sure that it is nice and plush if you're going for that luxurious look, right? We want our beds, a lot of people are saying, like, I want that hotel feel. Well, in hotels, we layer the beds, right? Your bed has more than one treatment on it, right? You have your protective sheet, then you have your fitted sheet, then you may have a flat sheet. I see some people put in the fitted sheet, but they don't put the flat sheet. Layer the bed. Why not put the flat sheet on there? The more layers you have on the bed, the more luxurious the bed is going to feel, the more plush it's going to feel when you lay on your bed. Go ahead. I would put a flat sheet. I would put the fitted sheet, the flat sheet, then I'll get a nice blanket that I can put on top of those to fold back. I'm creating layers, right? And then after that, I may put a coverlet on the bed. And then after that, I'm going to put like a comforter on the bed. And then after that, I'm going to put a throw on the bed. And then I'm going to add some really nice plush accent pillows to the bed, right? So you want to make your space feel very luxurious. You want your bed to look very luxurious. When I make my bed, I don't like to go up in it until I'm ready to go to sleep, right? Because I love to walk into my room and see that luxurious looking bed. So if you want your bed to look luxurious, do not be afraid to layer your bed. And when you're laying it, if you want it to be monotone, it can be monotone. If you want to add color in the bed, you can do so as well. But just make sure that you're layering your bed. The next thing I want to talk about with layering your bed is not choosing cheap sheets to put on your bed. Do not put cheap looking sheets, the thin looking sheets. Do not put those on your bed because they are going to do exactly what they are. They're going to look cheap, and then your space is not, your bed is not going to look as luxurious as you were intending it to look. So get nice tread count sheets, get those nice bamboo sheets. And when you find a good sheet and you see this sheet is doing well, get more than one. I'm sending you guys to spend money, right? But you always want your bed to feel very luxurious. So these are some of the tips, guys, that I will leave with you. If you are trying to make your space feel luxurious for even the fall coming, this is one way that you can do it. Do not do too much. I always tell us, like, we have to be more responsible with our coins. So going out there every year, buying up all this stuff for fall to decorate just for a few months, decorate your space so that it can last you for year upon year upon year, and not that you feel like you have to go and redecorate for every season. So guys, on that note, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Go ahead and leave me a comment down below and tell me if you think that this was informative, if you liked the things that I pointed out, or even if you're guilty of any of these things. And when you're doing that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you have not subscribed yet. And also don't forget to go back over to Jag by Design and hit the subscribe button over there if you have not subscribed as yet. So guys, I will see you on the next upload for Design Cafe. And on that note, don't forget, don't allow your budget to dictate your design.
Always remember, never let your budget dictate your style, but create a space that you love. Design for life.